I've been listening to the cowbell parts, and I like take two except for this bar over here. A stick kind of bounced on it. Now I want to replace this one bar, but I have a problem. I'm playing the cowbell, but I'm also working the keyboard, and I can't hit the key and be at the cowbell at the same time. Well, the solution for this is AutoPunch mode in Studio One, which will allow us to automate where we want recording to stop and start so that our hands are then free to play our instruments. So in this case, what I'm going to do is replace just bar 2. Now, what we can do is set the left and right locators here numerically. We can type in here and type in numbers and hit tab and move to the next field and enter the exact in and out points. And that's fine. But an easier way is to just drag this area over here. The left boundary and the right boundary represent these left and right locators. Now, you'll remember that these quantize to snap beat increments based on the snap value that we have here, but we can override that easily by holding down the shift key, and then we can move freely from the beat and subdivision grid. In this case, though, I think an even subdivision will work. I'm going to punch in from the beginning of bar 2 until the 4th beat. So that's the area I want, and we see reflected here the in and out points of bar 2, beat 1, and then bar 2, beat 4. So what I can do now is go back to the beginning and enable auto punch mode, which is this icon here, and the shortcut for that is I. Now, it's important to understand that above this, we have the pre-roll, which is O, and the two are kind of mutually exclusive. So as we hit one, it disables the other. They can't both be active at the same time, because the idea with punching in is that you set your playback cursor to wherever you want. Right now, I'm only 2 bars into the song, so there's not much room, but let's say this was the area I wanted to punch in on. I could set my playback cursor here, hit record, listen to playback, and then it'll just drop in and out of record automatically at those points. So you can get as much pre-roll as you want based on where you position the playhead. But in this case, we're at the beginning, so I'm going to start from the beginning. But the idea is that we can't have a manually set pre-roll, since the idea of punching in is that we start playback from wherever we want. So one will toggle the other off. I'm going to leave it in auto punch mode, and again, set this for that particular position. And I'm going to go back to the beginning, and I can hit record and continue and record as I normally would. But there's a couple of new features I want to show you. First of all, I want to record to a duplicate of this layer, just in case I want to revert back to this. I can always, if I record and don't like it, I can always delete it and drag the region back or the audio event back. They're non-destructive, these types of processes, but an easier way is to just duplicate the layer, and I'll give it a more meaningful name. Something like that's more meaningful to me, and it'll reveal all the layers. There's the new one and the original 3, and I'm just going to right-click to collapse that view. Now, there's a couple of different ways of doing this. The first thing I'm going to do is simply record enable the track, and then hit record. It'll start playback from here and drop in and out at this point, and let's do that to start with. All right, that worked nicely. Let's listen back. Okay, so the muting of the cowbell wasn't really the same there, and I want to redo it, and maybe I didn't like the part, and maybe I want to try some different parts. I'm not sure what I want to put in that bar. Well, we can have it punch in there and then loop that area over and over again, and we do that by enabling the loop function, which is this icon, as you'll recall, or the / key. So now I can do the same thing where I can start recording. It'll start playback from here, drop in here, and then cycle that over and over again. However, it's only going to cycle those beats. Maybe I want it to go all the way to here so that I can get a smooth bar repeating over and over again. So what's it going to do with all these additional takes that we record? Well, we have a recording options panel that we get to with the shortcut Option-Shift-R, and it'll reveal this panel above the transport at the bottom. So here we have different record modes. I can hit replace, and that means it'll go over and over that area again and just keep replacing what's there. And I hit stop when I get something I like, and that's it, and that's what's there. And that's a perfectly fine way of working. The other thing we can do is go takes to layers, where it'll record over and over again and each time create additional takes. In this case, I'm just going to use replace mode, and that way I can just stop when I get a take I like. So let's go back to the beginning and we'll do the same thing. Okay, I think I like that. So let's listen. All right, that's fine. I'm going to take off the forward slash. We may have a problem at the boundary where it crosses over here. So it's truncated a bit. Now, when we do this kind of punching in, there's little auto crossfades that are automatically generated to ensure smooth transitions, but we can go in and manually massage these in and out points, and we'll do that later to get this cleaned up. But those are two different ways of punching in where we automate the in and out points. Great for kind of hands-free punching in and out when you need to play your instrument and record at the same time, where we can replace and just keep going over and over again until we get a take we like, or we can record takes to layers, and we'll look at that in the next video.